Fox News alert, B-52 bombers are flying off the coast of Venezuela. Trump's not bluffing. Right now, more than 10,000 U.S. soldiers are built up in the Caribbean, on ships in Puerto Rico, locked and loaded. Special operations helicopters were just seen flying 90 miles from Venezuela's coast. The chopper units used by Delta Force, Navy SEALs, and the Green Berets. The Black Ops were spotted off the coast of Trinidad. They're very important for search and rescue missions. Also spotted little birds. They're smaller but faster, designed for quick insertion of special operators behind enemy lines. The Ghost was also confirmed to be in the Caribbean. That's the nickname for MV Ocean Trader. It's the kind of ship that doesn't want to be found. It's designed for black ops and special missions because it's dark and blends in with cargo. There's more. 10% of the U.S. naval power is now in the region. It's a major shift. There's subs, several destroyers, and F-35 fighters in Puerto Rico. That's on top of all the coke boats getting smoked to pieces by the week. Kilos of cocaine are washing ashore. Don't tell Hunter. Dozens of bad hombres becoming shark bait. It's got Maduro's attention. He's the dictator of the narco state, a very bad hombre, and we just doubled the bounty on his head. It's now 50 mil. According to the New York Times, Maduro offered us a dominant stake in Venezuela's oil, gold, and mineral wealth and promised to cut ties with Russia and China. And Trump and Rubio said no. That tells me the gunboat diplomacy is going to end up with no Maduro and a Venezuela aligned with us, not Putin or Xi. American action in Latin America hasn't always ended well. Look at the Bay of Pigs. Other times, it's a piece of cake. It's our backyard. And Trump's just reestablishing the Monroe Doctrine, a.k.a. the Dunroe Doctrine. Hopefully, a Venezuelan general does the right thing and collects the $50 million bounty. No one wants a messy conflict in South America. Maduro controls drug traffickers who are pretty strapped. They have military-grade weapons. And Biden let hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans into the country. They could be activated. But if Trump can pull this off and kick China and Russia out of Venezuela, after what he did with the Iranians, it'll give him a lot of power to deter Russia and Ukraine and China and Taiwan. Let's bring in U.S. Army Special Forces veteran Tim Kennedy. So you've seen how these operations go. What's your instincts say?
I think we've been giving a very clear message that if you're going to be breaking international law, you're going to be trying to smuggle drugs into the United States, you're going to die on those waters. For decades, we have tried to interdict those boats with the Coast Guard, and it just hasn't worked. 7th Group, my original Special Forces group, works out of that area of operation in South America. And they have been planning for this eventuality for decades. They're completely poised and prepared, and as we have seen with Director Gabbard and Secretary of War Hegseth, there's no messing around when it comes to cartels trying to have their way with Americans.
All right, so if we really turned down Maduro's offer, he basically gave us everything, gold, minerals, oil, whatever we wanted, and we said, no, you can't be our puppet, you got to go. And with all these naval assets on the coast, and now we assume the CIA is operating inside of Venezuela, how does the next step fall in? I mean, does someone hand cash to a general? I mean, what does this look like?
In the unconventional model, you're never going to have to be doing it yourself. There's a force multiplication aspect where by, with, and through, people doing the work for you. Fortunately, the opinion of Maduro, especially after an election that he clearly lost and then refused to step down, he has been moving further and further down the dictator route. And, the eventuality of the people themselves or a military coup just keeps having to increase without us even having to do anything.
Yeah, that's what we want. We don't want to have to do much. We'd love to have this taken care of for us because you don't want a Chinese and Russian-backed dictator running Venezuela and then running drugs into our country, running gangs into our country, and destabilizing the entire South American continent. What message will it send to the Chinese and the Russians if we get rid of this guy?
Yeah, it's going to be a very powerful message, but I think you're touching on something that people have to understand, that our adversaries want instability. They want lack of security. We as a nation, as a capitalist nation, for us to do commerce, we need regions of the world to be stable. And people like Maduro, dictators that are working in collaboration directly with both our peer level adversaries and cartels, there's nothing about this that is good for America. So first, we've seen President Trump address the initial threat, which is blowing boats up in the water. And now taking a powerful position, because he's not going to be doing diplomatic discussions without destroyers off the coast of Venezuela, as we now know, without F-35s blowing boats up as they're trying to leave the shores. We are now in the most powerful position, and everybody in the world knows it, to include Maduro. Now we're going to be in a really great position to have that conversation.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to go down pretty soon by the amount of force that's in the region. We'll be on it. Yeah. Tim, good to see you. Thank you so much for your service.
Good seeing you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.